What is going on, everyone? This is NinjaGeek here, and welcome back to another Overwatch video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to easily get the HOG Wild achievement, which is to knock 2 enemies to their deaths during the use of one whole HOG. Now, this was a little tricky for me at first. To many, probably it doesn't seem like a tricky achievement. However, I really wanted to make a video on it because there are lots of things to talk about when going for this achievement. There's certain heroes that you just want to completely stay away from altogether, and then there's certain ones that you kind of want to go towards. However, before we get into all of that, I just want to make it very, very clear, do not do this.
Objective lost.
Because doing that will just get you killed. Roadhog is a huge target, which makes him easy for the enemies to shoot at because he is so goddamn big, meaning that you will eat up all of the rounds that your enemies shoot into you. You're a giant sponge, think of yourself like that. You are just not going to go against everything like that if you just plow into all of the enemies like that, especially when trying to go for this achievement. Normally, that's what you want to do, but if you're trying to go for this achievement, plowing right into all of them is not going to work while they are looking directly at you. Not going to work. Also, before we move on any further, like I mentioned how Roadhog was a giant sponge, lots of the times the enemies are going to shoot at you, and you kind of want that to happen. The reason why is to get your ultimate faster. While healing, you can actually get your ultimate a lot faster, so what I like to do when I play as Roadhog is I like to let them shoot me until I get around about 300-ish health, around halfway down. Then I heal up and it gives me a lot of extra points towards my ultimate ability, just something extra to do while playing as Roadhog. So what you have to do is you have to sneak. You have to be a sneaky little fat fuck. You gotta go on the side, right? Now, of course, there are specific maps and heroes that you want to go on. Of course, with the maps, I guess you could talk about the maps. First, you can use Nepal, which is like the middle area where there's the giant like square, and there's a hole down there. Elios works right here, is Lijiang Towers. Any map that has holes are falling off the edge, really great for this. Of course, that's the only way you can get it, is by knocking the enemies off the edge, so don't try and do this on a map that doesn't have that, because of course that's what you need. But also, D.Va is someone that you really want to stay away from. Yes, she can work and she could fall off the map, but she can fly out of your whole hog, and she also is in a giant mech suit, and it's really hard to push her off. So I would just not even try and go for the achievement if there's a D.Va on the other team, or if, you know, well, I mean, I guess you could say try in quotations, because you're always going to be trying to go for it. But if you get D.Va in this, I'll be really surprised, but she's a really hard one to even get off of the map. Now, getting back to the point that I was talking about being sneaky, you really want to just camp, is the best way to say it. Now, you don't want to camp and be inactive while your teammates are out there dying. You want to have teammates that are really distracting them, and then go out there and go, ready to go whole hog, and just spray them down off of the map. A huge surprise, like they're not even attempting and not even looking in the direction. They're just so shocked that they just got slammed off of the map by Roadhog. That is what you want to do. And of course, Zarya and Lucio, I think, were the ones that I pushed off the map. They actually are really good for that, because Zarya can put up her shield. Actually, Reinhardt's good too, because anyone with the shields can put it up, and they won't take any damage from your scrap that you shoot. And Lucio obviously healed himself over time while he was falling. So that's pretty much how I got it there. Of course, they're, you know, the smaller targets are obviously the easier ones. Like if D.Va is out of her mech, easy as long as she's not too close to take enough damage from the scrap. You know, things like that you just have to take notice of. But the biggest tip here that I could say, honestly, is to play Roadhog very defensively, camp behind a wall, and surprise attack them. Because if you run in like I did in the first clip, you are just going to get destroyed. You're not going to get it at all. It's not going to work, because you're going to be a giant, huge target spraying rounds of scrap into the enemies. That's just not going to work out. You got to surprise attack them, and of course go for the right heroes, like the smaller ones, preferably over the bigger ones, off of the side of the map. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If you have any other suggestions, you could leave that down below, of course. This is NinjaGeek. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out. And peace.